the tragic silence behind Leeds United's record goalscorer reveals a story that football fans deserve to know. When Peter Lorimer passed away in March 2021, something felt wrong. Here was a man who held one of the most impressive records in English football, yet the wider world barely noticed. But this silence doesn't tell the real story of Peter Lorimer. His story is one of incredible talent, loyalty, and a legacy that goes far beyond controversy. Peter Patrick Lorimer was born on December 14, 1946, in Dundee, Scotland. From the very beginning, he showed signs of something special. His talent was so clear that Leeds United beat out several rival clubs to sign him in May 1962. What happened next would make football history. On September 29, 1962, a 15-year-old boy walked onto the pitch at Elland Road to face Southampton. At just 15 years and 289 days old, Peter Lorimer became the youngest player ever to appear for Leeds United's first team. This record still stands today, over 60 years later. Think about that for a moment. A teenager breaking into professional football and setting a record that nobody has been able to touch since. But Lorimer wasn't just young, he was special in ways that would define an entire era of football. They called him Hotshot and Lasher for good reason. His shots were legendary, reportedly reaching speeds of up to 90 miles per hour. Imagine being a goalkeeper and seeing this young man line up a shot from 30 yards out. You knew what was coming, but there was often nothing you could do about it. During his breakthrough season in 1965-66, Lorimer established himself as a regular starter and became the club's leading goalscorer with 19 goals from 45 appearances. This was just the beginning of what would become one of the most successful eras in Leeds United's history. The 1960s and 70s were golden years for Leeds United under manager Don Revie. Lorimer was at the heart of everything they achieved. He helped the team win 2 First Division titles in 1969 and 1974. They also won the 1972 FA Cup, the 1968 League Cup, and 2 Intercities Fairs Cups in 1968 and 1971. What made Lorimer so special wasn't just his incredible shot power. He had an amazing work rate and could cut inside from the right wing to create chances. He formed deadly partnerships with strikers Alan Clark and Mick Jones, providing crosses and creating opportunities while always being a threat to score himself. His best season came in 1967-68 when he scored 30 goals in 60 games. Think about that output from someone who wasn't even a traditional striker. He was everywhere on the pitch, contributing goals, assists, and energy that drove his teammates forward. If you're enjoying learning about this forgotten legend of English football, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I want to know what you think about Peter Lorimer's incredible shot power. Have you ever seen anything like 90-mile-per-hour shots in modern football? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's discuss whether any current players come close to that kind of power. During his first spell at Leeds from 1962 to 1979, Lorimer scored 219 goals in 616 appearances. These numbers are simply incredible when you consider the level of competition and the style of football during that era. He wasn't just scoring goals, he was doing it consistently at the highest level for over 15 years. After leaving Leeds in 1979, Lorimer embarked on an adventure that took him across the Atlantic. He played for Toronto Blizzard and Vancouver Whitecaps in the North American Soccer League, as well as a brief stint with York City in the English 4th Division. These experiences gave him a broader perspective on football and life, but the story gets even better. In 1983, at the age of 37, Lorimer did something that seemed impossible. He returned to Leeds United when the club was struggling in the 2nd Division. Many players his age would have been thinking about retirement. Not Lorimer. he still had something to prove and more to give to the club he loved. During his second spell, which lasted 2 years, he added another 19 goals in 87 appearances. More importantly, he helped push his career total to 238 goals from 707 appearances for Leeds United. This record stands to this day, making him the club's all-time leading goalscorer. Nobody has come close to breaking it in the 40 years since. When Lorimer retired in October 1985, he left behind a legacy that went beyond just numbers. He had been part of every major success in Leeds United's golden era. He had broken records and created memories that fans still talk about today. His international career with Scotland showed glimpses of what might have been. Despite being limited to 21 caps due to circumstances we'll discuss, he managed to be part of Scotland's 1974 World Cup squad. He played in all 3 of their matches at that tournament, where Scotland was unfortunately eliminated despite being undefeated. The 1971 incident that affected his international career happened when Lorimer agreed to play guest matches for Cape Town City in apartheid-era South Africa during a summer when Scotland was also on tour. The Scottish Football Association imposed a lifetime ban, though this was later lifted by manager Tommy Docherty. Lorimer later admitted he was naive about the political situation at the time. This decision came during a period when sporting boycotts were a major tool in protesting apartheid. The timing was unfortunate for a young player who simply saw an opportunity to play football and earn money. The fact that the ban was lifted shows that cooler heads eventually prevailed, allowing Lorimer to contribute to Scotland's World Cup campaign. After retiring from playing, Lorimer's connection to Leeds United only grew stronger. He opened the Commercial Inn, a pub near Elland Road, where fans could meet their hero in person. Many were surprised to find this unassuming, down-to-earth man serving drinks, the same person who had scored some of the most spectacular goals in football history. He also became a media personality, working as a pundit for BBC Radio Leeds and Yorkshire Radio. He wrote a regular column for the Yorkshire Evening Post, sharing his insights about the game and his beloved Leeds United. These roles allowed him to stay connected to the sport and the community that had given him so much. Lorimer's involvement with Leeds continued to evolve. He served on the board of directors and in 2013 became the club's first official ambassador. This role recognised his unique position as someone who embodied the club's history and values. He worked in this capacity until illness in his final months made it impossible to continue. The relationship between Lorimer and Billy Bremner, his former teammate and close friend, became complicated in 1985 when Bremner was appointed manager of Leeds United. Bremner told Lorimer he wanted him out of the club without giving a clear reason. This professional betrayal was particularly difficult given their shared history as roommates during international duty and their success together on the pitch. While the exact reasons for this decision remain unclear, it likely reflected the pressures of management and perhaps concerns about competing loyalties within the club. Despite this difficult period, the 2 men later reconciled and were able to maintain their friendship. This shows the character of both men and their ability to put personal relationships above professional disagreements. Peter Lorimer passed away on March 20th, 2021, at the age of 74 following a long-term illness. Leeds United CEO Angus Kinnear celebrated him as a legend and club icon whose passing left a huge hole in the Leeds family. He was voted as one of the club's greatest players, and his name will forever be associated with their most successful period. The silence from the broader football world after his death highlighted something important about how we remember sporting heroes. Despite his incredible achievements and record-breaking career, Lorimer didn't receive the nationwide recognition that his accomplishments deserved. A tribute video noted this silence and questioned why he never received a statue or widespread tributes. This lack of broader recognition likely stemmed from the controversies surrounding both his international career and its polarising reputation of the Revie-era team. The Leeds United side of that period was often accused of unsporting conduct, though these accusations were often exaggerated and unfair to individual players like Lorimer. What this silence really reveals is how football sometimes fails to properly honour its greatest contributors. Lorimer's loyalty to Leeds United was unwavering throughout his life. He could have pursued opportunities elsewhere or distanced himself from the club during difficult periods. Instead, he chose to remain connected and give back to the community that had shaped his life. His legacy extends far beyond his goal-scoring record, though that achievement alone would secure his place in football history. He represented an era when players formed deep connections with their clubs and communities. His post-playing career showed a man who understood that success in football came with responsibilities to future generations of players and fans. The real story of Peter Lorimer isn't about controversy or silence. It's about a talented young man who maximised his abilities, remained loyal to his principles, and created a legacy that continues to inspire. His record may eventually be broken, but his impact on Leeds United and football history will endure. Peter Lorimer proved that true legends aren't just defined by what they achieve on the pitch. They're defined by how they handle success, how they deal with adversity, and how they give back to the sport that gave them everything. In every measure that matters, Hotshot Lorimer was exactly the kind of hero that football needs. If this story of loyalty and achievement inspired you, make sure to subscribe for more forgotten legends of football. Let me know in the comments which overlooked football hero you'd like to see featured next. Peter Lorimer's story deserves to be remembered, and so do many others who shaped the beautiful game we love today.